Hey guys, I'm Lily O'Reilly and this is Lily O'Reilly Reviews, where today we're going to be unboxing some things that showed up in my mailbox recently. So let's get to it. Okay, so last time I swung by my mailbox, I had a couple more packages, so I figured I'd bring them back and we can see what's inside. First up is something from Dallas, Texas. We've got a lot of air bubble stuff. Okay. It is from Frisky Labz on Etsy. And they blind bagged it, so. Oh, what a pretty little cock. Oh, I love them. Okay, so I'm a sucker for teal. It's the color on my website. It's a big part of my branding. I just think it's beautiful. And this one really hits a lot of the things I love about the shade. It's got a great gradient going from a really beautiful translucent mint at the tip. The coloration inside of it's lovely. I have a mild issue with the finish. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of pockmarking almost on the way the dildo is textured. Almost like their mold wasn't smooth. It's not bad near the tip, but especially toward the mid shaft, there's a texturing to it. So I'm going to have to be super careful about keeping this one clean, because when you wind up with pockets like that, bacteria can grow. And this is why you need to sanitize your toys after use. So, plop him down next to Joe. Joe here is my representation of a statistically average penis. If you go back to my very first review, it explains it all, but basically this is the most average penis possible. And he's a little small compared to the Frisky Labz toy. It happens. Next box is also from Texas. It's from a company called Kudu VooDoo, who has some really cute, like, old school zine looking flyers. A recipe for good toy care. No silicone-based lubricant, water or oil only. Store toy in a safe, dry place. Store your toy separate from toys of different materials. Clean with mild soap and water or by boiling for 5 minutes in a deep pot. Give your toy lots of love. KuduVooDoo.net. I like them. So let's see what they sent me. Oh boy. I very much like the orange and black. They got a theme. I got a voodoo mishap, so apparently it was a flop. Okay, so they didn't send me a proper invoice, so I'm not entirely sure what kind of toy it is. They did, however, send me a super cute little skull, squishy skull. And this is the most deliciously soft texture I think I've ever had in a toy. It feels like a gummy bear, almost. Like, when you grab it and squish, you can see it deform. My fingers sink into it. It's got some beautiful scales, ridges up the base of the shaft. Top of the shaft is super smooth. It's silky almost. Alright, Kudu VooDoo. I like what y'all are doing. And I'm trying to figure out where the mishap was. And I honestly don't know. Usually it's something small like a nick. Man, my best guess is they might have badly trimmed the bottom, but I can't get over this. This is such a beautiful texture for me. It's so soft. I don't know why. I'm on a kick with like super squishy dildos lately, and it's very gratifying. I know. Alright, I'm a dork. It's why we're all here. So, Kudu VooDoo gave me a big flop who is a bit taller than Joe, a bit girthier than Joe, but still within the realm of like reasonably average. None of these are supersized like anything out of Bad Dragon. We have a final box that came in from Airpuff. Oh! Exotic Erotics. That is delightful. And they sent me an invoice, so I actually know what's in here. So, we have 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags. I know, I'm sorry, I don't know. All right, so we have 3 bags. Let's see what's in them. This one is beautiful. Oh my God. I don't know what it is with me and the scales lately, but they're totally my jam. So, I think this might be a hippocampus. I'm not entirely sure. What it is fucking gorgeous though. I like that they print the bottom of the suction cup. The light might have blown it out. But they print their website on the inside of the suction cup, which is cool. It's a firmer silicone. It's a little firmer than the one from Frisky Labz. Much firmer than my Kudu VooDoo gumdrop over here. But it's lovely. It's got a great mint fade down to a white base, big suction cup. The scales aren't as intensive as the ones on the Hanky's Dragon. I think no, they're about the same intensity of silicone. So it'll be interesting to see if they're too much for me. But I love the tip, the little cup, the way that it has some bigger scales in the G-spot area. I think it's going to be a lovely toy. The texture is interesting. It's definitely more textured than I had expected. But it's no worse than the Fantasticox, so we'll have to see how it pans out. And again, it's a firmer toy. All right, so we also have, oh God. Oh boy. I don't know what to make of this one. It's a very big, oh, maybe that'll show it better. Nope, light still blew it out. That's a big toy. Like, that's a very girthy. I think this is the Yakuruna. It's got not weird. It has interesting koi markings at the base. So I guess if you ever wanted to fuck a fish, this is where you go. It's got dimples down the underside, a very interesting texture at the base, scales all over the head. This is just way more girth than I'm used to up at the top. Like, it goes from that little point to a whole chunk of dick really fast. That's a lot. It's going to be a fun experiment. Like, that's a lot. Welcome to my life. I apparently wind up with a koi dick. And to be fair, they did a really good job with the koi patterning on the base. But, so as we were talking about Joe, this is a much taller and broader toy than Joe. This is not a average human comparison dildo at all. That's a massive, and it's such a firmness. Like, I worry when I get very girthy toys in an incredibly firm, not even incredibly. I worry when I get very girthy toys in a medium or firmer silicone, because something like this, see how it squishes? I could almost fold this in half and fit it in me in the wide part because it's so forgiving. Something like this, you've really got to work up to it because that's in the same suburb as fisting when you're talking about size. It's going to make for a fun afternoon, definitely. So let's see what's in the last bag. Oh Lord, a traffic cone, basically. Not what I was expecting. That would definitely make it the Phoenix. So, I was correct. Hippocampus, Yakuruna, Phoenix. Again, this is a very orange toy. It's got a great suction cup at the base. It's got a very intense knot And especially, like I said, in this medium or firmer silicone, that knot's going to be a bit of a challenge. Anecdotally, putting my hand around, it feels roughly like the knot on my Apollo from Bad Dragon. So it shouldn't be insurmountable, but that's going to be a stretch. I do like the head. I don't know if you can see, there's some plating on the back of the head, and it's got a great texture to it that would be amazing for G-spotting, for prostate play. Like, that looks lovely. It's just all of this that's a little intimidating. But it's a pretty toy. It's an interesting toy. And it's definitely a toy I'm going to have fun reviewing, because it's a chunky boy. Boy. I unnecessarily gender my dildos. I don't know. It's a me problem. So, we have one from Frisky Labz, my Kudu VooDoo flop that I'm absolutely enamored with, and then 3 big-ass fuckers from Exotic Erotics. This is going to be a really challenging group to tackle, but I hope that, this will be a thing we do. So, yeah. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing here, if you think that me rambling about dildos is kind of fun sometimes, hit subscribe. Mostly I talk about dildos, occasionally I talk about dildo adjacent things, but it's always interesting. If you like this video in particular, hit a thumbs up, leave me a comment, hunt me down on social media and say hi. Like, I really do enjoy talking to y'all, so yeah. Thanks for being here. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm really glad you're here with me. So, bye guys.